Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Biceps and Biryani. We have an exciting episode today. Sid actually came to Dallas to this past weekend to see his family, and we ended up going to Nationals and working out together. So a lot of cool topics to cover, like going through the guys who turned pro at Nationals for men's physique, kind of our workout together. We hit chest together, and a couple other things. So
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of fun coming down to Nationals this weekend. Yeah, I kind of want to go into how we got a chance to work out together. Absolute Recomp. By the way, great gym, awesome gym. But we got our chest in, and then we post afterwards. So, kind of want to talk about updates about where we're on off season, how my recovery's going, kind of what I saw when you were posing and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah, sounds good. So I guess we can start with Nationals.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I'm glad we got to go in person for prejudging.
Yep. I, by the way, I want to say that's probably one of the smallest lineup I have seen, as far as number of competitors on a
Mhm.
national level stage. It
It
was,
was. It was a very small show number wise, but the quality was still pretty high.
Mhm.
So we'll kind of go through class by class and say what we saw as far as like the class winner, the comparisons, things like that. So um, we will save class A for last because that was ended up being the overall winner, and we have a lot to talk about that one. Here we have Class B. So, what were your thoughts on this class? This was first call out.
to be honest, I'll still stuck with the guy at Class A, man, when Class B came out, because
Yeah,
he was pretty unbelievable. It's kind of hard to follow that up on a national level. So when you get that kind of quality up there, you tend to just you're like, oh man, like, okay, I mean, these guys are definitely like some of these guys are definitely pros and they got the pro body, but when something like that comes before you it was kind of like, oh wow, like, all right.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
really a pro ready pro.
yeah. Class A was definitely it was a pretty competitive class. Class B I thought was a little bit less competitive, but this first call out was still pretty impressive. And the guy who won, this guy here,
Yeah.
um, so we'll actually go. Let's see what his name was. So Alex Padron.
Yeah.
So he was very impressive to me. Um, he had a really good structure. Um, to me, he stood out in this class.
Yeah, absolutely. You could see it. I mean, he's I mean, I don't think he's set on that back post because guy to the left clearly
Hmm.
his back's set and that back looks unbelievable.
So here's his front shot.
Yeah.
Looks really good.
Yeah. Very
And then
full.
from the back, let's see. This one looks like he's set.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I can. I think his arms are a little bit like pointing high. You can see the
yeah, a little high.
erectors. The right one's a little bit more prominent and lower than the left one. I think it's because he has a slight like internal rotation on the.
Hmm.
um, So he's affecting that one erector on one side, but overall shape's good. I think he's just got to do what I got to do, which is bring out that 3D factor, the density coming outside.
Yeah, and his legs look good.
Legs
Good
good,
balance
yeah,
from top to bottom.
it's really good. Oh
Yeah,
wow,
from the
that's a
front, really good
pretty
balance too.
shot. I
Yeah,
like the balance, just posing with confidence. Yeah, this is a good look. He's got good
yeah.
legs too.
And second place, to me, it was a little up in the air for second between the second and third place guy. Um, but he ended up getting second and turning pro. Um,
Wait till you see his back.
oh, whoops.
That looks a little soft.
Yeah, from the front was definitely a little soft. Hey, one second. I have to take this call. Tofu is in getting his teeth cleaned. So yeah, we had to. The vet here was having a deal where they had like $200 off of their dental cleaning if we do it before the end of the year. So we tried to get it done for Tofu right before we left for Tennessee.
Okay. All right. We're still recording, so we're just gonna pick it up from here.
Yeah, yeah. I'll
Okay.
just cut out that part. All right.
Okay.
Um,
Unless people want to know about tofu and his cleaning. But yeah, so all right, this guy, from the front, he looks very, very soft, I thought, and just a little bit watery. I mean, he
yeah,
could be harder.
yeah. It could definitely be harder. I thought his from the front he was also a bit soft.
Let's
Back was
see.
really good.
Oh,
A little
that's yeah,
off
development on
center,
the.
but
I mean, obviously, I mean, he's got those. I don't know. I love when people have good raptors, man, and they're just going all the way. Look at his low
mhm.
back. I think a little bit more conditioning would
Yeah,
have
yeah. I
definitely
agree.
made him a little bit more competitive.
Yeah, but congrats on getting that second place and turning pro.
Yeah,
Okay, so then we have class C. So C, um,
yeah.
so
That's
in
the one
first,
Mario took. It's a good
yeah,
friend of mine.
so first we had Mario, second Natan. So do you want to talk about Mario?
Yeah, absolutely. Mario. I've known Mario for over 10 years. I think when I was living in California, we used to go to the same gym on in Oceanside. So that was kind of cool to see that, he stuck with it, and then he self-coached,
Okay.
and he stuck with it. I think he won the overall in San Diego a couple of weeks ago, and then just rolled right into this. The only thing that I had for him is like his lower abs and his posing from the back. He was pinching that scapula way too much. He needed to open.
Yeah,
Um,
I thought his posing was the biggest critique I had for him too, because remember we were sitting next to each other and I was like, dude, look at him standing there on the side. He looks 10 times better than when he posed in
yeah,
his individual.
I
Um,
think when he was a little bit more relaxed and this doesn't like you can't say this about a lot of people, but with his pose with two hands on the hips was better than the one hand on the hip. That's
yeah,
not saying that that's his pose. Two hands is his pose. I'm just saying he posed that better than
he
one
did.
hand on hip. But I do
Yeah,
think
the one
if
hand
he
on hip,
can
it looked really awkward to me because his legs were so far apart.
far apart, yeah. So he didn't have the flow. So if he can work on that pose, I think that's going to be the pose, unless he has that really, really good lat
Yeah,
activation coming out. But it's kind of crunching from the back, so he's got to work on that. That's the only thing that I saw. See if he can pull him up individually. That back
yeah.
shot, we'll see. Fucking
This is front shot. So this is what we were talking about with this. It doesn't
legs
look very
being
natural at all.
wide. And that kind of takes his hips out of the game, and which is not going to help him activate his lower abs as well. Mike talks about this. Let's see. Yeah, if you go up, yeah, right there, page 2. Let's see if we got a set back shot. Yeah, we're fourth row, last one probably. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's
See
pinching.
see how he's pinching right there? If he can open that up, if he can just get his traps down, relax his traps, like he's shrugging so much, if he can
Hmm.
relax his traps and then really almost think about doing like a front lat spread almost and then pose, I think he would have really like you could see he has a really good shape.
Yeah,
But I'm curious to see what it
and
looks
I
like
want to
open.
see if I can find a shot of him doing that. Did he ever hit his front shot with two hands on hip? No, I guess they only took a picture of the one hand on hip.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when he did that two hand, his
It,
physique totally changed.
yeah, it did. I don't know
Yeah, he
who
got
got second.
so
But
second place was Gino is his Instagram handle.
if you just hit back, yeah.
So yeah, to me, I think he won. I think a lot based on his conditioning. He had really good conditioning. Um, Good conditioning and good midsection
Yeah,
because he wasn't the biggest guy. Doesn't have the craziest taper, but he had really good conditioning and a very clean look.
good legs.
Yeah, good, really good legs. Let's see if we have a back pose of him.
Yeah, this is where he can
Yeah, definitely some more
build on
density
already.
there.
Yeah, build a little density and make that.
Okay, then we have class D.
I thought this was a good class as well.
So this is the whole class. I don't want to take that note. So I don't think I've ever. So I compete between class D and class E a lot of times. I don't think I've ever seen a class D with 6 people in it.
Yeah, but even though it was only 6, the
These
talent
top
was
two look
really
great.
great. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, both these guys that turned pro look really good here. So first place was Roland Kerr, and second was Winston. So Roland was one with the black and red shorts. And yeah, he looked really impressive to me.
Oh, good conditioning.
Yeah, I think
If he fixes
posing
that,
looks a little.
yeah, he's
Yeah,
just a little slanted. If he can stay a little upright with that leg,
from the back he looked really good too.
I think that's a bad shot.
Yeah. Um, his structure was what stood out to me too. I think you can't really tell structure sometimes, like in comparison to everyone else with these photos by themselves. But next to everybody else, you can see like he was very wide, really small waist.
Conditioning was good.
Yeah, conditioning was good. And in second place, we had Winston. So yeah, same thing. I think he had really good conditioning, good midsection. Really wearing the same shorts.
Yeah, and
um,
yeah, I still think like he can get that lower ab a little bit more.
yeah, and I think his chest and shoulders, like the taper could be better. Like I think if he grew those a little bit, like the
Let's
lats and shoulders in the
let's.
front.
Where's what about a back shot? Let me see.
Yeah, his back is really good.
Oof, that's a really good back shot.
Yeah,
Oof,
it's a really dense back.
that's nice. Good condition. That thing's going all the way to this. This. Oh man. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's very nice. Composing.
yeah, yeah. Those two definitely stood out as soon as they came out. It was definitely deserved. Okay, we have Class E here.
Yeah. I think this one had 13 in it, right?
Yeah, and it wasn't to me. This class didn't have like a standout one where like one person was like the clear winner. Um, but here we have Courtney who ended up winning the class. He has a good look.
Good midsection.
Yeah, big legs. A lot
Yeah,
of these
he's
guys who are winning the classes have pretty big legs.
yeah, and I don't think he was really set on that shot, or I'm not really sure. I think he's still, yeah, I think he is. But yeah, he's if he can just, it's good. Let's see his
Yeah, then
back.
his yeah, see his back.
Yeah, look at that. His right side erectors. is far more developed than the left, and that you can see the shift in it. Yes, like an internal rotation, which is obviously providing more growth to the right hand side.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like this is a similar look to how my issue as well.
Yeah, that's. Aren't you taking care of that right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that as well.
So second place was Andrew.
Yeah.
Thought this guy,
I think he could be a little bit more conditioned, especially in the midsection. I think he could bring that
yeah.
out. I could see it coming out, but it looks a little soft.
Okay, he can't be set there. Let's see.
Oh, he's
Maybe he is. But yeah, he's a bit crooked.
again with that internal rotation. That's just developing his right side a lot more
Mm-hmm.
than his left.
All right, so then we have class F.
Yeah.
See this one? I thought this guy looked pretty good, the class winner. So
I've had a
Damon
lot too
Evans.
long.
Yeah, 13 in this class.
Tight. You need to put on some size, and then he'd be good to go.
Yeah, he's put some size. His conditioning was good. His structure was good.
Who's second place?
Second place, we have another Roland.
Let me see. Oh,
He said really nice look, very clean look.
yeah. I just put some size on his chest.
Yeah. So yeah, the center here and here.
I think Roland got the second prize, which he could have. It was a close one between him and the
Yeah.
first. He could have definitely placed on
Yeah,
that
that could have been a flip
class.
for sure.
And then we got G. Man, even though it just happened, I'm not remembering.
There's a lot. See, that's another thing I want to talk about is that I really think they should consolidate to make it more fair. I think they should consolidate men's physique into 6 classes instead of 8, and they should probably increase classic to 6 from 4.
Yeah.
They should have them both have 6 classes because men's
So,
physique, some of them are getting pretty small and thinned out, and classic they're all like way too many people. So it's not really reflective of the current day. It's more based on how the divisions were back when classic first started.
yeah.
All right, so class, were we on F? Or no, we're on
Yeah.
G now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Steven was a class winner. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember this class super well to remember what my impression of them was in person.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy, he was like the last one to add who looked really good, who ended up getting second here. I remember him.
He won. He didn't win his pro card. He got third in the class actually.
He got third.
Yeah, he's the
Are you
Indian
sure?
guy, right?
No, Muhammad.
Oh, okay.
I think the Indian guy was in the next class.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, so I actually had Muhammad winning that class. I thought he
Yeah.
had a really clean look, but he still looked really good. Both of them were definitely like I thought the top 2 was pretty evident in this class. Yes, we have him here. That's his back. So then we have Muhammad move to the center here for the bottom one.
Yeah.
That's G. Did they not have the last one?
Just pull up the
Yeah,
winner.
yeah. I'll pull up the H up here. The pro cards. Yeah, I think this was class H.
Yeah.
So Jarmir and Brandon. So I do remember these two. I remember the class winner he was a big guy, like structurally. So let's go ahead and look at that. He looks good here.
Yeah. I mean, he's just wide and big, so he can put on a little bit of size on his chest. You can
Yeah.
just add those pieces now that he has his pro card. He can just go on off season and just work on that.
Yeah, he had a great structure.
I
Good
don't
back.
think he's set there. Those 1 foot's coming back.
I think that's how he
Oh,
hit it.
okay.
But yeah,
What do you think about
good.
that? People hitting a back shot like that.
I don't like it,
I don't either.
but yeah, because it's like they're trying to do like a back double by, and they
Yeah,
like
yeah.
put 1 foot back, and except it looks, obviously that's not needed for the way we hit it in men's physique. Um,
I think it looks prettier with them together, like almost a back. I mean, a back relaxed.
yeah, definitely. And I mean, he has a great back, so yeah, there's no need to do all of this. Um,
In the
okay, and then we
second,
have second place, Brandon. He looks good. His conditioning is good.
wide. He's very wide.
Yeah,
Pliable.
and his
Let's see if
back.
we get.
Could
Could
definitely use
use
more
it.
here,
Yeah.
especially compared to the winner,
Yeah, he could use a little bit more back.
especially down here.
Yeah.
Um,
Class
yeah,
A
and now
Biryani.
finally we can go to Class A, which to me was the standout class here. So we had our
Yeah.
overall winner and the second place here. Um, both of those guys when they came out, like I knew those would be the top two. They both looked really impressive.
I agree. They were definitely the standout of the show. Let's see if we can pull up the second place winners picture.
Yeah. So Andre, so man, he was super dense.
Yeah, I mean full too.
Yeah, full dense. Really good conditioning. Look how like deep the lines are. And then we have, let's see his back.
He's crunching there. He's still crunching. Maybe he doesn't
Yeah, it
open.
looks like it's just kind of off. Yeah, he just has a little trouble with it.
He just needs to open his back. But yeah, I mean you can see how dense he is. Imagine that back open.
Yeah,
It
he was
would
he
be
was a
even bigger.
super dense guy. Um, and we have the class winner and overall winner, DeMonte Watson. And man, like literally as soon as he came out, like I didn't see him at first when they came out, but when he was walking to the center to do his individual, I'm like, this guy's winning the overall. Um, he was so bubbly, dry, and like full, and like he looks like a pro. Like walking out there, he looked like he could step onto a pro stage right now and do pretty well.
Yeah, look at his midsection got tighter. You can see his obliques starting to come in. I mean that I think he just needs to work on that, and he'll be good. He's way more conditioned. I
Yeah,
remember you pulling up a picture of him at Universe, and
yeah.
he
So he was at
he
Universe with us,
improved.
and he placed third there. So he's one spot away. So if we compare that, so if you go to NPC Universe from earlier this year, um,
I mean the condition is unbelievable.
yeah. So it's not even
Yeah,
close. The conditioning here, like if you look at his midsection right here
yeah,
compared to here, like
even
it's
yeah, way more condition. See, put in that work in between Universe and Nationals. His back was lights out too. So
yeah, his back was insane. So let's look at that. I mean, look at that
yeah,
back. That's
see,
wild.
That's insane, man. Look at the pose.
Yeah,
The
my God.
posing's insane. It's so I mean, dude, that is he's got some wide, big lats on him.
Like that is a top tier back even in the pro league.
Yeah, he's got it going on.
Yeah, and then so I think he'll be pretty competitive pretty quickly in the pro league. And yeah, I mean, even though he's like a shorter guy, like he's not like built like a shorter guy. He's built very like still very aesthetic, and I mean this shape is just insane.
No, he was definitely the standout of the show, and once he hit the back post is where I was like, wow, like it's incredible. He definitely stood out on stage. So
Yeah, he did. Like you can even tell. Like you didn't even need to like. I sent a picture of the class. One of my friends is class A, so I sent him a picture of him and the top couple in a row, and he immediately just said that guy looks like he's going to be the overall winner. It's
oh,
like it was just so apparent that this guy was like on a different level compared to normal. You know, national shows are already at a pretty high caliber, but like you can tell when someone walks up and it's like they're ready to compete in the pro league and be really good. And
yeah,
he's one of those guys. Like last when I did nationals 2 years ago, it was like Dimitro was the overall winner, and it was like he's kind of that level too, where you're like he's ready right now to go step on stage and do well. You as
yeah,
well. I mean, as soon as you won the overall universe, um, and it's like there's like those standout guys in every show where you're like they're ready for the pro league. They're not
yeah.
just like ready
I
to
mean,
turn pro. They're ready to compete as a pro.
there's a reason why they're the overall winners. That's because they're closer to that
Yeah.
mark than
Same thing
everybody
with
else.
last year Junior USA's Ricardo Senat was the overall winner,
Oh,
and it's like, dude, this dude's
it's
gonna.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, he was
yeah.
an Olympian the same year. Um, so yeah, that was nationals, and yeah, overall, even though it was a smaller show, still very competitive and good
It
quality.
was. I mean, trust me, sitting down when you don't have a lot of athletes coming, you kind of wanted to get there already. Usually takes forever because there's so many competitors.
Yeah,
And usually when there's so many competitors, half of them probably needs like another season to belong there as well. So like even though I'm like, oh wow, it's gotten smaller, which I'm like, oh, why aren't people doing men's physique? It was kind of nice as spectators to being like, all right, it's running through quick kind of deal. On the other hand, that classic classes, man, you're right. They need to create
they're
two more
huge.
editions. It was so long, and their posing is longer too, right? So,
Yeah, so I
um,
just think that yeah, sometimes the IFBB can be a little behind the curve with some of these things where it's like there's like a few solutions that I feel like you could put in place right now that would just make things make so much more sense. So like
yeah,
the classic has way more people than men's physique in each class, so obviously they need more classes. And then men's physique, some of these classes have two or three of them had under 10, and you're giving out 2 pro cards per class. So like we don't need as many classes there.
yeah.
Um, and I really think they should have a blanket rule across all shows where it's like if there's under 10 competitors, 1 pro card gets given out.
I
Over
think
10, they give
there
out two.
used to be a rule, something like that, and
I think right now the rules like you can't have less than 5 or something, right?
okay, yeah, yeah,
And get a pro card. But like instead of having like, oh, all classes in NPC Nationals get 2, all classes in Junior Nationals get 1, just make it based a standardized rule. Like if the class is over 15, 2 pro cards are given out. Under 15, 1 pro card's given out. So that way it's just like it makes sense that, and we don't have classes where there's like, we got lucky that there were 2 really good guys in class D, but when there's 6 people, like there's a very good chance that there's not 2 guys that look like pros. Um,
Let
Yet
me
they're gonna
ask
end up
you.
turning pro.
Let me ask you this question. So we were both there, and I've seen you at Universe. What would you say your best look was so far? What?
I still think my best look was probably 2023 Nationals.
So if you had your 2023 nationals and you came to this nationals, where you think you would place?
If I was in
And
Class D, I think I would have ended up in third. I don't know if I would have beat those 2 guys because at that point that was my best conditioning, but my back was not as developed as it is now. I wasn't as big as I am now. Um, but this year I was bigger, but I don't think I ever had that same level of conditioning as I did in 2023 Nationals. If I was in Class E, I think I'd have had a better chance. I think I could have been fighting for a second. Um, but yeah, I think it's so hard to tell because like there's years where like I feel like this year I thought my junior nationals look was really good, but I got fourth there. Um, so I think I don't know. It's hard to tell what the judges would what the judges would reward, but I think I would be somewhere in that 2 to 4 range for
Okay.
both of those classes.
Yeah, I think I would agree too, because I think way you're going about it this off season, man. Obviously we got to work out at Absolute Recomp together, and we
Yeah,
post a little bit, and just just from looking at how tight you're staying throughout the off season, is kind of tells me you're gonna have a good, probably a pro year next year, obviously. Um, just because I'm seeing the structure not getting lost through off season, and it's just you're bringing up your holes, so I think this is going to be good. I was surprised to see how tight you were.
man, that's good to hear. Yeah, because I'm getting close to where I was peak last offseason. So peak last offseason, I ended it at 225 in the morning. And right now I'm kind of hovering around 220, 221. Um, at a much better body composition, and like I'm so, this my off season really just kind of started like 6 weeks ago, so I still have like a good amount of time to keep growing. So yeah, hopefully we can get there, and then the real thing is just bring it in during prep and just like peaking properly, and that's always been my
Yeah,
issue in a lot of shows.
yeah. I think you can nail if you can just nail the conditioning down early enough, and hopefully not running to peaking problem, and just not just taking it easy, and then just kind of
Yeah,
maintaining. I think you'll be okay. I think if you just put on a little bit more size and just condition and condition and condition, I think it would be easy. Because I think I had the easiest peak when I was just absolutely conditioned, especially
yeah,
for like Atlanta. I thought I thought it like I peaked pretty good.
yeah. I really think the best peak is when you don't have to do a lot at all.
Yeah.
And this year that wasn't the case at all. This year I felt like every peak was like this huge depletion, then carb up, and then try and guess the timing on the day of the show of how much to carb up, and it didn't end up going the way it needed to. So
How was
hopefully,
USA's? Was USA's pretty busy?
like as far as number wise,
Hmm.
it was I would say it's like on the smaller side too. I think all the shows this year were on the smaller side.
You thought
Um,
Universe was on the smaller side?
relative to I guess I haven't kept track of the numbers, but like I guess everything's on the smaller side compared to like 5, 6 years ago. But compared to like 1 or 2 years ago, even I don't know what Universe numbers were, but Universe was the biggest show I did this year.
Yeah, I agree. I think Universe was a good showing. It was good talent there.
Yeah.
Just wanted to just kind of see like where the sport's going.
Yeah, yeah, but
Um,
overall,
yeah, we
like
still
the
got
numbers do
quality.
seem lower for national shows.
Yeah, but we're getting quality coming in.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I got to work out chest with you, and big mistake because my chest is healing, and his strongest muscle is chest. So this
Yeah.
guy's outlifting me by a lot. But
Yeah, but that was fun.
so there were so many equipments there that we got to try a lot. We ended up doing somewhat of my split, which is similar to your split.
Mm.
So it was kind of fun working out. Finally getting to work out with you again. I mean, work out with you, and kind of
Yeah.
seeing where we're both at. It's humbling for me because I'm on the path of recovery, and I'm trying to get my body back. But I was also good because I was posing and I felt confident because I'm starting to get my shape and the muscles back, and I'm
Mhm.
starting to like weekly. I'm making changes. I should start posting about this, but I'm
Yeah,
making I'm making weekly changes this fall. So it was good for me,
yeah,
especially to do that.
because it's probably been when did we see you last? Was it like was the start of October?
Yeah,
Um, yeah,
yeah,
start of
yeah,
October, I think. Yeah, I saw you back in Dallas when I was looking at apartments or houses. And yeah, even then compared to now, which is, I mean, what, 2.5 months, it's like, man, you look like way bigger now.
yeah.
Um,
I'm at
so
what
it's like,
236
yeah, what
right
were you
now.
then?
Uh, Probably stage weight 217, but no muscle.
Yeah, Yeah, so there's a huge difference, especially you can tell in like when you're wearing clothes, like you just look way wider and bigger now
way
compared to then. So
filled out. Some
yeah, it's just a process of recovering, which it's so easy for me to say that, but like yeah, it'd be tough for me mentally too to have to go through what you're going through.
but it needed to happen. I'm actually very optimistic about it because I'm excited to see what this is going to bring out. And as far as progress is going, the fact that I'm putting on size like almost on a daily basis now, it's just
Yeah.
incredible. So I'm excited. So just to go off of that as well, as far as my prep is going and my plan is going. Um, I mean, I'm with Cutz, and I haven't checked in with him yet. And tell me if I should do it sooner or not. So this is my thought process behind it. So Cutts obviously is one of the top coaches in the world,
Hmm.
and his caliber of athletes is just incredible, incredible arsenal of athlete from Edvin to Aaron Banks to Drew, all of the Corey. I mean Corey Morris. I think he's done. I'm not really sure. Uh, I don't want to send a check into where he's like, okay, what am I working with? Like, what does this look like? Like, uh, so I don't want to explain it to him in a sense where it's like, okay, I have just started lifting again. I want to kind of build a structure and go, okay, now I'm ready to make like let me get it back to where it's just like it looks good, like almost a pro level status, and then go, hey, like I don't want to give you a product where you have to just build from the ground up because I think you're just such an expert at being on the top. Let me take care of this bottom level. And then when I'm here, I kind of want you to just take over. So would you make that approach or would you rather just go up to him and go, I'm at the bottom?
Well, let me ask you why why do you think that you need to wait till you are at a certain level before you ask him?
Because uh, I do feel like this, I don't want to put it in okay. So I feel like I can get this done pretty easily, right? So my diet's staying the same. It's clean as it can get. My training's staying the same. So I think there's not a lot of changes needed now. I just need to staff days basically to get to a certain level. So the expert knowledge of cuts of, hey, you need to be doing this, eating this for the adequate amount of growth. I am not at that level yet in a sense where I think I think keeping it clean and getting consistent and putting tension on the muscle is going to give me a ton of growth right now. So when I maximize that, I feel like I could bring him in, or I should
Do you
bring him
think
in.
that his expert guidance or his expertise would help you get to that point faster if you were to communicate with him now?
I don't think any. I'm sure it will help. The guidance will always help. I'm always a guy that would like to take that expert help. I'm sure it doesn't hurt, but
Hmm.
I just don't think it's at a level where it's needed yet because it is still what I've been back on it for just about a month now. So
Right. And even that, like India threw it off by a couple weeks for diet and everything
yeah,
too, right?
absolutely. And this is when I'm like locked in. I like diet. Everything's just on point right now. And then I don't have subs running through my systems either. So like I don't know if I'm ready for that. And I'm sure like he would want me. I don't know. Uh but like when I'm ready for that, I just it's my thought process.
Yeah, I think it comes down to like I think if you prefer to do your own approach or his, because I think like communication with your coach is probably helpful for him to guide you through this whole phase too, so that way he can see everything. You're like have control of everything from now until you compete. But at the same time, if you want to maintain like a little bit more, obviously you can always be more flexible when you're coaching yourself, um, and probably get the same result. But like you don't have to be as rigid, especially
But
when you're
I
coming
don't
from
I
where
don't
you're
I
coming
don't do
from.
with flex I don't do flexible plans. I like rigid plans. I don't I
Well, I mean, even like this past weekend when you're eating out a couple times and whatever,
Yeah,
right? Like if you were 100% on plan, that wouldn't happen. Like if we were
that's
in prep,
correct.
you wouldn't be eating out and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So it's like you can still maintain that and kind of decide like, hey, it's okay to eat out today and have
Yeah.
one meal here when I'm traveling or things like that. And that's probably not going to hinder your results at all. Um, so like, I mean, you know what Cut's plans look like? Do you feel like your diet now is like significantly different than his approach?
No, it's about the same. Exactly the same.
Yeah. So I guess, I don't know. I don't see what the downside to contacting him sooner would be.
I agree. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think I just needs to get together, send him a check-in, and just go, hey, this is where I'm at,
Maybe
and
is
yeah.
it because of not wanting to hinder him, or is it because you just don't like the way you look now and you don't like want to send a bad check in?
That I think that has a lot to do with it in a sense where I also think like this is nowhere close to what I can give you.
Hmm.
Like I am way better than this, so
But he would
I think
understand
that
that, you know,
okay.
like he knows what you went through, and for you to even be at this point where you're ready to start taking things seriously again, like it happened in August. It's like 3.5 months ago.
Yeah.
Like 3.5 months after open heart surgery, like you're already back in the gym and like training at a pretty decent level. So it's like, you know, he would definitely understand that. I think
Okay.
like he wouldn't expect you to look like you did in Atlanta right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
you know, so it's like, yeah, I think under any circumstance, like under any reasonable thing, like your progress is going like really well. You know,
Yeah.
um, so I think yeah, you shouldn't feel like he's gonna think like, oh man, like what am I working with here? Like I think he understands what you went through and is probably gonna be happy that you are already able to be back at things and be on a rigid routine, you know, this 3.5 months after the kind of surgery you had.
No, that's a good point. I think yeah, I think it's more of like I'm like, fuck, I don't want to give him a D
Yeah.
project, I'm a A project. I don't want to give him a D project kind of deal, but it is good because I am significantly see me going from that D project to C to B. I could see the trajectory to where that's
Hmm.
what's going to happen, which is what I was also very unsure. Like I was unsure that if I am ever going to be able to do it. But now that my shape is coming back and I see my muscles are sitting down and it's the structure's looking good, I'm like, oh wow, like I
You feel
look
confident again.
almost the same. I still have my wide back. I still have all my structures.
Hmm.
So I'm more inclined to do it now than I was before because I was so unsure if
That makes sense.
I'll be able to even step back on stage just from like a
Yeah.
structure point. But now that I know it's going to happen, I think it's going to be a smart idea for me to reach out to him.
Yeah. No, that makes sense in the beginning when you want to feel things out and see if there's even a, you know, if you feel like you can come back. But now that you feel like you know you can and things are progressing well, I think it's good to connect with them early so you can at least know what's going on throughout the whole process. And that way, when you're ready to start
Yeah,
hammering
man.
things down again, he'll, you know, already know what you're eating, already know what your training looks like, and know how your physique looks and everything. I think if
Yeah,
anything,
that'd be
it'll help
good.
your result be better at the end.
Yeah, I agree. I just got to get past that stage.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be hard, like not, you know, with your seeing your physique the way it is now compared to what it was a few months
Yeah.
ago. But because already that's hard, just like normally without anything, when you see yourself transition from like stage to off season, like when you're in your health phase, it's like that's already mentally hard. So like, yeah, seeing it from from stage to immediately after what you had to go through, like that's a tough thing mentally for sure.
Yeah. What? It's going to
But
happen.
yeah, it'll happen,
I'm going to be
and
back on stage.
yeah, you're already back in the position where you're looking good again, and I think you're over the worst part. I think the
No,
hardest part
yeah.
mentally, and now it's like I'm sure going to be much easier.
Yes, sir. And I got to record it. That's what I got to do now.
Yeah, I definitely got to document it because everyone loves a good comeback and a good transformation.
All right. Now, I think you were doing like this thing where we were about to rate the
Yeah,
workouts we did. Let's get into that.
yeah.
It's pretty
So
awesome.
I'm a bit of a nerd, so I've always been into like TCG and gaming and things like that. So it's really big in that field is tier lists. So I'm kind of bringing that to bodybuilding, and what the Pro Seek channel is doing is using a lot of our or asking a lot of our pros and having conversations about where they would rank a lot of these exercises. So we hit chest this past weekend, so I think that's a good one for us to do. So we're going to actually rank chest exercises in the tier list. So
Personal
we,
preference, right?
based on, so we'll kind of go through the criteria. So it is based on like what you would think is the best for the majority of people. Things to take into consideration is like safety profile, ease of doing it properly. It's like, like how easy is it to learn to master the execution. And then like I want to look at this as each of these in isolation. So like in a vacuum, if you were to choose these exercises for like your main exercise for chest for growth. So like a chest fly, for example, like maybe it's a great exercise, but if you were to compare that to like a an incline press, if you had to choose one for chest day, which would you pick? So like that's kind of what we're looking at it. Like if this was your main exercise for chest day, where would you rank it?
Yeah, got it. Um, so how
So
should we do it?
we can start over here on the left side and just go across. But um so the first one is going to be, so this is an exercise that I actually did for the first time with you this past weekend, which is
Yeah,
the Smith machine incline press.
yeah. I mean, for me,
Oh, let me go through the tiers. Sorry, let me go through the tiers first so people understand where we're defining these. So the top tier, we have the mutant category. So if you want to look like a mutant, the Nick Walker, you better have these in your program. They're going to be very effective for building your chest. You should absolutely include these exercises um, in almost all circumstances. Greek God, very good exercises that in most circumstances would be beneficial to do. Gym Bro, some good use cases, but definitely not essential. Um, and then Lifetime Natty, being a lifetime natty is okay, but no one wants to look like a lifetime natty. So if you want to avoid these exercises, where maybe they have some use cases, but like you would never pick them to do over a different exercise. There's never really a reason to have it in your program. So Smith machine incline press, where would you put it?
mutant absolutely needed. This would be my number one workout for chest. I mean, you ask me anything, you pick one exercise for chest, whatever it is. For me, and I think the Smith machine incline plus is absolutely very vital to growth because one, um, the Smith machine kind of helps you with the stability aspect of it, so you can kind of isolate the chest, especially if you have issue with stability. So it's not necessarily people. I mean, I think a lot of people have issues with stability and not know they do because they end up overusing their traps and their anterior delts when they're
Mhm.
targeting that inclined chest, which is a tough muscle to hit. Um, so I think the Smith machine helps with that, and then just kind of make you hyper focus on the incline press, and plus it's just less load on some of the joints, just because you have the higher stability here, not because it's less load on it. I mean, the weight's still the same, but the stability that it brings affects the joints as well, so it helps out with the movement.
Yeah, no, I think if we were to summarize the key things about this, it's like if we think about the safety profile, it's pretty safe. There's a fixed movement pattern, so it's easy to do. So it's like beginner friendly too, as long as you set things up right. So it's like pretty easy to do. There's not like a big learning curve. It's you can still overload it very easily, so it's really good for progressive overload. It's pretty easy on your joints, so it's lower risk of injury. Um, so yeah, like you said, I think it's a really great exercise that I would have probably should have been doing for a long time before this weekend, but
Yeah, I mean,
I
this is
really
your
liked it.
first time because you're a um,
I'm a free
free
weight
bar,
guy.
yeah, free weight guy,
Yeah.
and then you're always hitting the free bar, and this was the first time hitting the Smith machine. Did you feel like you got a better control and activation through your chest using the Smith
Yeah,
machine?
no, I did, especially like because I have a little bit of like the internal rotation and the my thing's a little off center. If it's pretty hard to stabilize the barbell in a way that I think is not going to be damaging to my posture long term. Um, so I think the Smith machine helps me correct those issues and control it better, and it's probably something I'm gonna incorporate a lot more now.
Yeah, because you were moving some weight on that, man.
Yeah, and those, like right off the bat, first time I felt safe going up to the 3 plates and a 25. So it's like it felt smooth, it felt really easy, and it felt like I wasn't nervous about it. Didn't feel iffy on my joints at all. So I really enjoyed it. Um, so next up we have flat Smith machine press.
Um, I mean, the movement itself is very important, but I usually prefer like a lever chest press to do it.
Hmm.
Because I usually do it right after my Smith machine incline press, and my chest is already toasted by the time I'm done with not toasted. I mean, I'm taking a lot of weight, but again, from a stability standpoint and from a standpoint of just trying to activate my chest, and I have a lot of help and support from a leverage chest press over a Smith machine press. So I kind of would put that in like a gym bro status just because I never flat bench on a Smith machine. I can find a lot of replacements that are a little bit more uh, easier to activate my chest
Hmm.
because I'm not using a lot of other factors because I can really isolate more. This is my personal preference, like a leverage chest press.
Okay. So because there's more alternatives to put in your program for flat, you don't value the flat Smith machine press as much as the incline one.
Yes.
So why do you value the an incline motion so much more than flat?
Because I mean, don't get me wrong. One, I think it's just comfortability of me doing it over the years. Obviously, that comes into play because I personally am able to activate my upper chest a lot better on a Smith machine incline press versus a Smith machine flat press. Um, I think it's posture issue to where I do end up um, activating my anterior delts a little bit more when I'm laying flat down versus at an angle. When I'm sitting down, I'm able to use my heels to stabilize my spine as well, and just kind of push back on the pad and really get that squeeze. Versus where I'm laying here, I don't get that.
Hmm.
I think that's the main reason.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Um, okay, I'm gonna put this one last because it's kind of a different
Yeah.
one. All right, so next up we'll have the barbell incline press. This is something that's been a staple for me for probably 10 years, that I've always done. So where would you rank this?
I'll put it in the bottom
Really?
because yeah,
So lifetime natty, never do it?
never. No, I
Okay.
just I've well, my first time I injured my pec was on it on a barbell, and obviously it's because I'm doing something wrong. That's why it got injured, or it could be because my load was just way too much. I was putting on a lot of weight at that time. But after that, that's when I found the Smith machine, and I think the pros and the cons from the Smith machine to barbell right now when I'm just trying to activate and build a muscle, for me is Smith machine is has so much more pros than the barbell. So I'd rather just use the Smith machine over the barbell.
Would your answer change if we're not just talking about you exclusively? If you were to just make a recommendation to your average lifter, would you still
No,
put it in the bottom?
yeah,
Because you think that there's no reason to do this if there's a Smith machine that exists.
machine, yeah, and they can activate the chest.
Okay. I would probably put it, I think I would put in Greek God just because I still think it's a super effective exercise. Um, I still do think there's also some value in stability, like having to stabilize things, especially as a beginner. Um, and then I just think the only downside to it is, like you said, there is a slightly greater risk of injury compared to like a Smith machine or other plate loaded stuff. So that's what would keep me from putting it in mutant. But I don't know. I still think it's a really good exercise for the majority of people as long as you're, warming up appropriately and being mindful of your form. But because it's a little harder to have good form, I could see it not being, used as much as some of these other ones.
Yeah.
Um, so we'll go ahead and put everything in the tiers and then we'll rank them within the tiers after.
Yeah.
So next up, we have the barbell decline press.
Oh, I would put it on the bottom as well. I mean, I think I think again you can get it done through Smith machine, like a decline bench under the Smith machine and get it done. I prefer the Smith machine decline over barbell. But for most of my decline, I'm on the cables or doing a dumbbell decline press or something like that. But no, even the dumbbell, I put the Smith machine over the dumbbell. I'm a Smith machine guy. I like Smith machine, so
Okay, I guess we can rank them as we go. So between barbell and decline, or incline and decline for barbell, which one would you think is better?
incline for sure.
Okay, so we'll keep incline there. Um, yeah, I think that the barbell decline is pretty useless. I would probably agree also that it's in this tier just because it's like you're probably not going to do more than one free weight press on a barbell, and I would never choose a decline barbell press over an incline or flat.
Unless it's that's, but it also has to do with what your weakness is. Let's say your decline is really that weak, and then
But have you ever seen somebody with a
no,
super strong and big upper chest and is too small of a lower chest?
no, I have not. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
another thing too. That it would be. That's what I'm saying. It would be a rare case if
Yeah,
it does
very rare
happen.
case.
So that's why I ranked it all the way on the bottom.
Okay. Well, then I guess I think I can guess where you're going to put this one, but barbell flat bench.
Yeah, probably right next to the yeah, right on the bottom
What order?
for me.
Incline,
Uh, I
between
would go
incline, better than
incline
incline, worse?
between incline and decline.
Okay. So same rationale as the other ones, I'm guessing.
Yep.
Um, that you think there are better options for instead of doing the
Yeah.
barbell. Okay. Well, then I guess we'll move on to the dumbbell. So just a dumbbell bench press, whether incline, decline, we'll just keep it all in one dumbbell press.
I think dumbbell press is way better than barbell in a sense if you can kind of if you are having active range of motion issues and you have good active range of motion, you're able to extend that a little bit with the
Mm-hmm.
dumbbells. But again, when it comes to stability issues, this is a little bit harder if you need to have really good stability to execute this workout the correct way. I have seen a lot of guys do dumbbell presses, but not. I'm seeing them overuse their traps and their anterior delts
Mm-hmm.
while they're doing them, just because they're trying to hold on to that eccentric and not able to control as well. Uh, I would definitely put it in the between the Greek God and Jim Bro. We can
Between,
even yeah, but
so which one
we
of
can put it
these?
at the we can put it in the Greek God one because that's something that I like doing. Because it, like you said, with the barbell, like it does help you work on your stability, and I think the dumbbell does too. And it's
Mm-hmm.
also personal preference for me at this point because I started off only doing dumbbell presses because when I was in the military or deployed, we didn't have a lot of choices. We had a lot of dumbbells, and you just make it work. And I got used to doing a lot of dumbbell presses as I was building muscle, and that's something that I like doing. But I stayed away from it after I obviously found the
Yeah.
Smith machine. So
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, I think it has a lot of good pros. You still have to have stability. Still, it's easier to have like good range of motion and like you can control the angle of the dumbbell, so it feels very natural when you're using it, even if you are a little internally rotated or whatever. Um, but yeah, it is again still a little bit um more difficult to execute correctly than like on the Smith machine press. So if you're a beginner, yeah, I often also see people doing the dumbbell press pretty not the best. Um, yeah, and then another issue with the dumbbell press is let's say you're going super heavy, like what we did with the Smith machine. When you're kicking up the 150s, it's pretty easy to like tweak something, you know. So it's in that regard, it's a little bit that takes away from the safety aspect a little bit because when you're going really heavy, then it can still have its risks. And then also another aspect is that it's a bit harder to spot than a barbell or Smith. just because it's a little awkward to spot someone on dumbbell. And if you're asking some random kid at the gym, there's not always someone who's super experienced there. So I'd be a bit more comfortable with them spotting me on a Smith machine than dumbbells, just to get it.
Absolutely. That's a major factor as well, because now you're not going to load up as much as you want to, or even try to cross that boundary of can I do this today, or am I able to push this weight?
Yeah,
It's tough to call that shot when it's on a dumbbell because it does require kind of a specific. Because I know guys that like them on the elbow. I know guys that like
on the
spot on the
wrists.
wrist. So
Yeah,
it depends on yeah. So that's a big issue because you're always going to
yeah.
want it the way you need it, and sometimes you just don't get that.
And something else that's a huge limiting factor that's like very glaringly obvious now that I think about it is that the reason why dumbbell presses have never been my main movement is because I've never had a gym like Absolute Recomp. So, most gyms only go up to 120. So if I
Yeah,
did that as my first exercise, you'd hit it for 20, 25 reps. So it's not going to get a good overload with it. So that's again a huge limiting factor because most commercial gyms don't go over 120.
yeah, uh, yeah, and then the hardest part about places like Absolute Recomp is the options are endless.
Yeah.
uh, dumbbell chest fly. Oof. Again, this is one of the workouts that I started doing them, but there's so many alternatives now um, that I tend to choose the alternative because my activation and the way I can overload the target muscle is so much better from like a machine or a pec deck or a fly motion than the dumbbell chest fly. So I kind of put it in like the gym bro category for sure.
Interesting. So why would you not put it in Lifetime Natty like the other barbell stuff?
Because for me, I rather dumbbell fly. So I looked at it this way. It's like if I was given an option, I do a decline press, barbell press, or dumbbell fly machine. I
Mhm.
would pick the dumbbell fly machine over the decline. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Okay. Um,
If personal preference, I'll try that over the barbell.
yeah, yeah. I actually hate dumbbell chest flies. Um, because I can just it never feels good to me. And
Yeah,
yeah, I
so,
would
so you're
never
not
pick it
able to
over
active.
a different way.
Yeah, and I have incorporated dumbbell chest flies here and there, especially if I'm not getting a good activation or I need to shock my muscle or just do something different.
Mhm.
I'll end up doing the dumbbell flies. But again, it's a good option. But if your gym has the other options, I'll always choose the other option.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Plate loaded press. So this is a very broad one, but yeah, we're talking about, the hammer strength, the panada, the just any sort of plate
Incline,
loaded.
flat, yeah.
Yeah, movement.
I'll actually put that in the mutant category. It's a must for me because um I got that I got the Smith Fly incline. I need something for my flat as well to just make sure that density get built. And this is usually something where I can overload a lot and keep working on that. And this actually I go in order: Smith machine incline press, where I try to load as much, and then plate loaded press, which is also one of my loading
Yeah, I mean that
workout.
is consistent logic where it has the same pros as the Smith machine press, which is like not definitely much lower risk of injury, easy to overload, um, and good to avoid injury and still be able to stimulate your chest really well.
Yeah.
Um,
Where would you
and
put
then
that? Would you put that up there?
yeah, I would put in mutant as well. Yeah, because I think there's like almost no reason to not do some sort of plate loaded press during your chest workout.
Yeah.
Um, whether you start with free weights or not, because like I always prefer starting with free weights, but even if you didn't, um, after your first exercise, I still go to a plate loaded. Like I'll do dumbbell or incline for my first one, but then I'll always go to a plate loaded after, just because my stabilizers are probably a little worn out. If I did like incline barbell and then dumbbell, actually I did do that for a long time, but um, I definitely see the use cases for it, and I see the logic, and I still think that plate loaded presses are very important and good.
Yeah.
And the skill level, that's another big thing, is like you don't have to have a high skill level to go do a plate loaded press. You can be a beginner in the gym, still get a great stimulus from plate loaded with a very low risk of injury.
Yep.
Um, dips and
Dips.
push-ups.
Uh, Dips. Are we talking about for, like just on a bar or on a machine?
Yep, just body weight dips.
I don't. I've never been a fan of bodyweight dips, even though we had to do them in the military a lot. I was never a fan of them. When I do get fatigued, which I'm trying to do as much as possible. It's never like let's do 15. So I'm trying to do much as possible, and I tend to do this every time. It's just round my shoulder to finish them out sometimes because end up getting 3 or 4 more reps. Yes, it's somewhat activating my chest, but it's also putting my shoulders and my joints at such insane amount of stress. And what's standing in between you and just going past your range of motion and causing injury is your wrist on 2 bars. So, and gravity's pushing you down. So if you're fatigued already, sometimes you have a hard time controlling it. So the safety aspect of dips for me, especially you're gonna end up doing like when you start building muscle, weighted dips and stuff like that. It's just uh, kind of tough. But if we're not using any weight, so I tend to just take less risk, if you have noticed, and more into isolating the activation of the muscle itself.
Mhm.
So for me, dips is definitely a lifetime natty workout.
Okay. Um, yeah, no, I think your logic is pretty consistent. So, even if I would put it somewhere else, I see where you're coming from for sure. Um, so yeah, I I agree that when you get fatigued, and then even beginners can do dips in a not the correct way. I think if done properly and correctly, they're pretty good. But I still don't think it would be in like mutant or maybe even not even Greek god, just because like if you look at it in isolation, it definitely can't be like your main chest movement like these other ones can. But I still do them every time as like as a burnout at the end. But like you know, could I do without them and do something else instead? Of course. Um, so yeah, and then I do see a lot of people doing them wrong, in which case it can put a lot of stress on your shoulders. And um, when I was younger, actually, when I was really into calisthenics, I did do like weighted dips with like 4 plates attached to me. And like back then I was like, yeah, this is awesome. But like that really took its toll on my elbows.
Yeah,
Um,
and then you probably took a toll on your trap development and your anterior delt development as well, because you have to understand you have one of the most insane trap activation. I mean, it's always activated. They're always up
mhm.
because probably you hyperused 4 plates dip on your traps. Don't get me wrong, probably where your chest is out of control as well, um, but you can see that this is just always active and pumped on you,
Yeah,
and I think that probably could be a good contribution to that. Not that it was a negative thing for
yeah,
you because
definitely
you
that,
like a
and definitely the rings too, and for
yeah
gymnastics, where it's like that's always activated.
yeah
Um,
absolutely. 'Cause here instead of here.
yeah. Um, okay, so now next up we'll have push-ups.
I think it should be in the mutant because one, how easy it is to get into the position. You could do it anywhere you want.
Hmm.
That's why it's probably one of the primary pump up workout that we do before everybody does it before we get on the stage. But two, for me, it's one of the best like. So I use it in multiple ways. One of the ways that I use it is like, let's say I'm doing Smith machine press. Um, let's say my activation and I can't load much that day. There's something going on where I had a pre-existing injury that day to where I didn't warm up correctly and my shoulders bothering me. Obviously, when that happens, my thought process is not to go, I'm going to still hit the same weight because there's something that is damaging my shoulder. And my answer shouldn't be, let me throw my normal 3 to 4 plates on here and keep doing it, which is going to create a ton of stress on what's messed up. So next week I come back, I recover on it, and then my chest is on. I'm able to load that weight. So usually what I would do is I will bump my weight down. I'll still get it. I just still try to get my activation going, but then I'll start hitting push-ups in between to see if I can still keep the blood in my chest. So that's one of the ways that I use push-ups to just make sure that activation's there and there's blood on my chest. And two, it's a great finisher. Let's say you have anything left on your chest at the end of the workout,
Hmm.
start knocking them out to just make sure your chest is fully exhausted. So those are the two ways that I use the push-ups.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is you and Jordan that I talked to. Both of you guys had push-ups very high, and I did not at all before this. But now, after talking to both of you, you're starting to change my mind because, like, because my logic was that push-ups are, when you're a beginner, it's great because I'm still trying to look at this in isolation, right? Like, which of these can you use to build your chest as a primary exercise? And push-ups as a beginner, yeah, 10, 20 push-ups is really hard. So you can definitely build a good chest doing that. But then once you get to a more advanced level, like where we're at, I could probably do 50, 60 push-ups, right? So it's like, is it still effective anymore? Um, I don't know. So that's why I was thinking it wouldn't be in the mutant for me, but it is very versatile because it is very good for warming up. It is easy to do, good safety profile, um, low skill level, I think. Um, and you can use it, yeah, to warm up, to finish in between sets. So there are a lot of use cases for it. Um, but yeah, that was
Yeah,
my logic on it before.
yeah, but yeah, you could do 50, 60 push-ups, but now try doing them after you just put up 3.5 plate on Smith machine right after as a mm, as a superset or something like that. And that is where 10 or 20 of them can bring everything out of your chest. I think that's why it's good because you could add that on. Because you get off the Smith machine incline press, you don't have to go set up another machine, load the weight, nothing. Just drop right where you
That's
are
true.
and you finish that 10 or 20.
Yeah.
That's why it's still good for me because it still gives me one, keeps the blood in my chest and still gives me a good chest activation because I'm doing them after I'm exhausting my chest already.
Yeah. And I think a big part of that is how available it is to do, where you don't need any equipment and you can do it right there. Because I think if you ran over to a pin loaded chest machine and did it super light, it would serve the same purpose, but
Hmm.
that's a lot harder to do in a gym.
Yeah.
You'd have to like run across the gym and find the pin loaded machine and do it. So yeah, the fact that you can just do it anywhere with no equipment
Yeah.
and it serves that use pace, I can see why it's a very
Yeah.
good
And at a
exercise
busy
now.
gym on busy hours, usually on Mondays, it's tough to have two machine to
Yeah.
yourself. So you still want to be effective. So that's why I put push-ups because you don't even need a gym to do it. You just need a floor. So
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I agree with you guys now. I'm on the push up train now. Um, all right, cable flies.
I would put cable fly and machine fly the same. It's going to be in the mutant category. It's absolutely necessary to isolate. Especially you can hit all type of angle, incline, decline, flat, depending on where your weakness is. So I'm guessing cable fly, machine fly. It's going to be the same almost for me because both of them. Uh,
Well, there's one thing that would separate that, right? So the fact that machine flies, it is much harder to do incline and decline, because you don't really see that very often, right?
as far as
Um,
availability of the
as far as
machines,
like, yeah, most gyms don't have like an incline fly machine fly or a decline machine fly. Most of them just have the straight one. Um,
like the pec deck.
yeah, the pec deck, right? So does that change where you would put both, or would you still put them both in mutant?
I'll put Bolton Mutant as far as workouts, but let's say you do have the availability of incline and decline. I mean, if it's not available, you can't do them, obviously. But we're talking about it is available. So if the incline machine fly is available, I would rank them in the mutant, just because
Okay.
I would hit them.
Which one would you rank higher than the other?
Cable fly higher than the other because cables are available a lot more, just for that sake. And for me, I do get a much better activation in a sense where it's so let's say I'm hitting chest today and I'm not open as well. Maybe from my off day yesterday or me not moving around, or maybe I had a bad back day or whatever the
Mhm.
case may be. I can restrict my active range of motion on cable, maybe walk up or maybe stop and then keep going. Much easier because I can make that changes. As far as how easy it is for me to get in and out of my active range of motion position is so much easier for cable machine. Machine, let's say I'm like, okay, I'm 5 this way, 2 this way, or whatever the setup is for my chest. I end up doing that's stuck in my head and I end up doing it. I have to, let's say if something's going wrong, I have to call an audible with as far as my active range of motion is going. It's obviously a little bit of pain in the ass to just kind of make it going. Nor let's say the setting down is too far and the setting up is too low of a active range of motion. I need the in betweens. You necessarily can't get the in betweens with the machines versus the cable. You determine where it can go. So that's why I rank it a little bit higher.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think that makes sense logically. For me as a preference, I would pick machine over cable just because for me, cable is a little hard for me to find the right spot. Um, where it's like I feel the perfect stretch and the perfect whatever. Whereas with machine, I can just get on there. I know exactly what setting to go, and it feels perfect every time. Um, but for me personally, I like the machine better. But I definitely see your logic with that. So I agree with it. If you had to bump, I feel like we have too many in this mutant category. We have to bump one of them down here.
I would
Um,
put the machine in the Greek god.
okay. Um, then last up we have the Svend press. So I had no idea what this. I've used this exercise all the time, but I had no idea it was called this. So I think we should define it really quick for people.
Yeah, so
So Sven,
basically you're contracting some kind of tension closer to your chest and you're taking it out through chest flexion and you're just really flexing it there and then coming back out. And then that's basically the swen press motion. So you can get them done on cables, dumbbells. There are swen press machines. So it's almost like a push-up category for me. So that's basically what swen press is.
yeah, and yeah, I think I always did them with the dumbbells where you could squeeze them together like this and push up, even with like a slight incline. So I'll like bring them up to my upper chest.
Yep.
I've seen people do it with like a barbell in a corner, like a T-bar row, and hold it like this and push
Yep.
up.
You could do them on a
Um,
plate. You could put the plates
yeah, the
together.
plate.
You could do them with a cable. You can put the cables together and then
See, I've never done that with a cable. Um, but okay, so where would you put that? What do you have
I
as a
would,
staple for everybody?
yeah, I would put it, it's almost as similar as push-ups for me. So, if I would, if I were to choose between swen press and push-ups as far as burners in between, I would rank swen press higher than the push-ups. So I would put swen press in the Newton and
Drop
at the
push-ups to
end,
recap
dot
then.
push-ups down. Because one, cable swen press is very versatile. It's easy to get into, and two, I tend you can isolate a lot more on swen press than push-ups because sometimes people could end up using a lot more shoulders on push-ups,
I
depending
mean,
on if they have.
if you do a push-up with a close grip like this, then would it
Yeah,
serve the same purpose?
somewhat, but you have to be really careful to make sure that the chest is activating the entire motion. It's easy to let it get to you because when you get closer, you're 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 forcing that
Yeah, you
internal
wanna
rotation a little bit. So
right.
that end up hyperactivating your traps and your anterior delts a little bit, and you got to peel it back and make sure that chest is doing. And that sometimes with people that doesn't have good activation or good connection to the muscle can be hard to do. At the same time, look like they're doing it the right way. So people just tend to do them and then end up going, "Oh, I did my push-ups, but did you do them with full activation on your chest, which was the purpose of that day, if that is the purpose of that day,
Right.
which for me, when I'm the purpose of a chest day is to exhaust my chest out. Uh,
Yeah, and the purpose of a
uh,
push-up is typically to exhaust your chest too. It's just
yeah,
yeah, a lot of people don't do it that way.
yeah. So
Um,
that's why I rank Swen Press higher. Again, that machine was pretty beautiful. Um, it was kind of funny because you didn't know and you started doing them. I was like, yeah, those are really great in between sets.
Yeah.
And then you start activating them. It just goes off, man. Your chest, especially if you're in between sets, it's a good superset to have with your
Would you say you'd run
flies.
into a similar issue where if you were like in a gym and you're supersetting, like how easy is it, do you think, to superset with the Sven press instead of like a push up?
It's definitely harder for a Swen press than a push up, but at the same time, like again, every gym. Okay, this might not be the perfect thing to do when you're home because not everybody has dumbbells or
Hmm.
plates at home, but every gym is going to have a pair of dumbbells or
Yeah.
a plate or whatever the case. And as far as it's just as easy as a push up to just get down on the floor or stand up with a strong core to execute them. Um, so in that sense, it's kind of easy. You can execute them anywhere. You don't need a lot of space or take up another equipment as far as a superset is going. But as far as yeah, you do need some kind of tension. I mean, you could do it without tension as well, but you're going to get past that a lot because you're going to end up
Yeah.
doing a lot of reps.
Yeah. And I guess, yeah, you would just need like some sort of bench that would
Yeah,
lean back.
if you have stability issues standing up and doing it, yeah, you would need a bench to lay down on. But if you have good stability, let's say you're doing flat flies, right? Cable
Hmm.
flies. You could do the flies, you could finish them out and then close them up and
Oh, yeah.
start doing your Swen presses
Mhm.
right after them. Especially if you don't have that range of motion and you're exhausted from the workout, you could come in here, you could load a lot more here and Swen press them and then
Yeah.
exhaust
That
that
makes
chest.
sense. Yeah. I think I like that. I would probably keep push ups. I'd probably still keep push ups in for the reasons we said, just because it is so much easier to superset with things. Um, and you don't need any equipment at all. But I do really love this Sven. If you do have the ability to do a Sven press where it's not too much trouble, then I do really like those as supersets too. Um, but yeah, no, that's a so do you any last minute changes?
No last minute changes at all. This
Okay.
is it.
So would you rank is everything appropriately ranked as well within the tier?
Yeah.
So push ups are over machine flies over push ups?
I would put machine flies over dumbbell press right now.
Okay. Smith machine over dumbbell chest fly, and then yeah, I think that's probably where you
Yeah.
what the last one.
Yeah, no, I would keep it there. This is probably one of the things that I would at all times.
Okay. So yeah, this is the final list for Sid, and we will actually publish this tier list, and you can kind of use the same template and share what you guys think and where you would put everything, and if you agree or don't agree with some of them. And that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, and it would be hard for me to rank other people's workout as well, just because uh, we're all made different. But if everybody's on a level of, oh, I understand what muscle activation and connecting my muscle is like, then I can't argue with them because they know their body really well and they understand how to activate their chest at the most adequate level. And obviously, if you're at a level competing at a pro level or at a national level, clearly you have a good relationship with your body and a connection with your body to understand what works for you, what doesn't work for you. But um, it's always there's always a load workout and an isolation workout in there for me, and I find those to be extremely effective for me and my body and my range of motion.
Yeah, and I think the only thing that people would probably disagree with is like some people would value free weights higher. But the way your logic for your placing makes sense, and you were really consistent with it. Where,
Yeah,
yeah, you would just always choose something that stabilizes for you, just because of the lower risk of injury.
yeah, absolutely. And at my age, and that's priority as well.
Yeah. um, if you were to rank this as a, let's say 10 years ago at 25, would you have ranked it differently?
Yeah. I would because I had no desire of connecting and growing and being efficient. I had
Just want
all
to
the
sling up heavy
desire
weights.
to just show I can lift more weights than so and so, or I can lift a lot of weight. Yeah, absolutely. It would be tough. The mindset's different too, or your goals are different too. So,
Yeah,
when-
yeah. I guess as you progress, the goal now becomes a lot more just activating and growing the muscle rather than just pushing heavy weight. And
yes,
yeah,
sir. Absolutely. Other than that, we got nothing else today.
yeah. I think that's most of what we had to cover. So um, we'll reconvene next week. I guess we never really fully have we talked since you got back from India? We did, right? Or no?
Oh no, we haven't done an episode after India.
Yeah, maybe we can have like a whole special one on that one because I think this one's already has quite a bit in it. But
Yeah, absolutely. And then we could talk about my India trip. It says absolutely amazing.
yeah. All right, man. Well, then we will reconnect next week and have another episode then.
Absolutely. Yeah. Make sure you guys leave comments, subscribe. That would
Yep.
help us out a lot.
Yeah. Please subscribe, follow, leave comments, and actually another big topic we have to do is the Arnold list came out for men's physique.
Yeah.
It's a
The
pretty good one
list.
too. So
Yeah, I
we'll talk
know.
about that next time too.
Absolutely. So next episode we'll talk about the Arnold lineup that's out. Not just men's physique. I think kind of want to go
Opens
over
out
the
too, yeah,
open
and classic. So
and the classic and then go from there.
sounds good. All right. Bye.